and welcome to a brand new show of CEO at Work. And we are coming after a long gap, but this one indeed is a special edition. On this show of CEO at Work, we would be discussing the secret recipe of the success of Jubilant Food Works. We would find out what is the vision which is getting baked in their boardrooms. What is the mix of ingredients which will ensure that the company is future ready? And what will they do to ensure that the customer satisfaction remains spicy? My guest on the show today is someone who is reserved, but is bold. He is big when it comes to his ideation and strong when it comes to implementation. And every time when I meet Sameer Bhai from Jubilant Food Works, I always start by saying one more thing. Hungry ho kya?
Always. Always hungry for more and always thinking bold.
Okay. Let's introduce the company. When I would introduce Jubilant Food Works 15 years ago, it was a franchisee of Domino's Pizza. Now it is becoming more like a food platform company with multiple brands, which is pivoting into food tech. Let's first go back and then we'll go forward. What has changed and what will change?
So I think fundamentally our purpose has remained the same, which is we serve joy. When a small little girl gets a pizza, she gets a big smile, her mother gets teary eyes. So that has always kept me going, and therefore our purpose is to serve joy. What has changed is we are leading with more technology, greater purpose, but food remains the center. Our food is no longer addition to a menu, but a big platform. I'll give you an example. We launched Cheese Volcano, a blockbuster product. Then we launched Cheese Burst in 3 new flavors. And today we tasted whole new cheese ranges of product. I genuinely believe cheese can be a 1,000 crore platform for us. Similarly, chicken wings in Popeyes can be another 1,000 crore product. So we're thinking about more platforms than just sheer menu additions. We are becoming more food and food technology company, but the purpose to serve with joy or serve joy on a plate, that remains.
Okay. Let's look at the state of the economy. The QSR sector in last 6 to 8 quarters has gone through a rough ride. But for the quarter gone by, declared numbers, there is a marked improvement in your same-store sales. There's a marked improvement in your forward communication. So why are you growing and what are you doing so differently that optimism is coming back when others are struggling?
So I would say the answer is more self-help, right? I understand there is a demand slowdown. However, in this tough times, we've done 3 things. We are doubled down on value. After thorough experimentation, we launched free delivery. We doubled down on giving more cheese per product. The number one reason customers order Domino's is actually the craving for cheese. And the third reason is just sheer operations excellence. We deliver more number of orders in 20 minutes. When it is Diwali or New Year or Christmas, our store staff is available throughout the night. Whether it's Kumbh or Coldplay, we are present in both the location.
How many pizzas did you deliver in Kumbh?
So we have 8 stores. Still, yesterday was the last day. I'm still to take an account. It has far exceeded our expectation in terms of, I would have never imagined we'll be selling so many pizzas in Kumbh and Coldplay both. But
the J-curve, what we've seen in your last numbers, and especially one benchmark which is used by markets, and our viewers also use it, this obsession with same store sales, right? Same store sales. That's the first benchmark on which numbers are judged. There's a big uptick. It's a double-digit growth. After 4 or 5 quarters of a flat growth, from negative to positive, and now it's in double-digit. Will that sustain?
I genuinely believe so, and I am a big believer of compounding. We are acquiring new customers at an unprecedented rate, almost 2x what we were doing a year ago. our pizza eating frequency, which is about 3 in a year, has not come down.
Okay.
And therefore, if this were to happen, right, our same store growth should be very high, right? And I think as a category leader in pizza, our job is to grow the market and continue to gain share, and we are doing both.
I introduced Jubilant as a company which is available on different platforms, from biryani to Chinese food to Dunkin' Donuts, the global presence as well as coffee. But your dependence on pizza is still 90%.
It is.
Now, that's good, but that's also bad. I mean, see, I'm very sure that pizza demand will not be cyclical, but the dependence on just one category, isn't that risky?
I think yes and no. And what I would say is there are about 20,000 Domino's pizza in US. India is only 2,000. And we have almost 4x the population. There are 11,000 KFC in China in 1,000 cities. We are still very small.
11,000 KFCs.
11,000 KFCs.
One single brand in China is 11,000
and adding
stores.
1,000 stores a year.
But Samir, historically, when there has been a slowdown, we've seen Jubilant in the past reorganizing their stores. Wherever there was duplication, you've cut those stores. But this time around, you're really going all in with store expansion.
So what you see is actually we're bringing technology and AI into our store operations. And what you see today is this is a replica of our store. And this room or experience center is called Store.AI. Now, Store.AI does 3 things. One, it helps us expand network, and I'll come and talk about it. Second, it drives more revenue per store. Third, it drives more engagement and repeat per customer. All 3 metrics are done by Store.AI. Let me explain. As we stand today, we have list of thousands locations based upon actual data usage of Domino's customers who are not able to get Domino's. So we know where to open next 1,000 stores. We already have a list. All we need is a right location at the right rental. We are ready to open stores. Second is the revenue per store. Through Restaurant Copilot, what we are developing is assistant for our restaurant managers so that they can focus front of the house, sell more pizzas, their inventory management, rostering, all of that can be taken away. Third is the delivery. So take for example, I'm short of riders. Typically, I will shut down the store. If it is raining, I will shut down the stores. Now the tools and the AI is automatically reducing the polygons, shutting down one part of the area or one channel, and as a result, what we are seeing is we are able to get far more from the store.
How much have you invested in AI?
So we have a team of about 200 engineers, all in-house, who are developing these products, but across channels, across platforms. So it is a big investment for us, and I can't invest more in it.
No,
like I should.
But what I'm trying to understand is that is the ROI, or return on investment in AI, really going to help you? Because you're investing upfront, the results would be coming back end. Are you confident that this investment will work for you?
I think one of the reasons why Jubilant Food works, or I would say Domino's in India, is not just a #1 pizza company in India, but the #1 QSR, is because we've always made bold investments. And bold investments in technology. So we have our own app. Majority of orders and new customers come from our own app. When I came in, I invested the entire technology team into Domino's app. I shut down all programs, but to focus on Domino's. It's paying off now. Same thing, we built the rider management app in-house, and it was all outsourced. Our loyalty was outsourced. Everything is now in-house, and you see how our app is improving day by day. So I think the ROI is definitely there, and I genuinely believe this Store.AI will help us improve efficiency, prevent revenue leakages, and make the restaurant manager's life a lot simpler. Domino's store in India has the highest throughput per store in terms of volume anywhere in the world.
How many pizzas do you deliver in a day?
So 40 crore pizzas we delivered last year.
Wow, 40 crore
Right, so this is the
pizzas.
number of crores because everybody is talking about crores in terms of Kumbh. We delivered nearly 40 crore pizzas last year.
Which means typically you've reached every household once. India's 40
Yes,
crores households.
yes, roughly.
Roughly you've reached every household once.
Yeah, that's correct.
But can you increase your penetration levels further? Because you're talking about what, reaching 700 cities by 2028,
Yes, that's
right?
correct.
How many cities you currently are present in?
So we are present in 465 cities.
That's a bold bet, right? From making 2,000 stores to 3,000 stores, from reaching from 400 cities to 700 cities, which means for next 3 years, you're looking at serious expansion, something which you've not done in last 15 years, you will do in next 3 years.
That's correct. So it took us nearly, I think about 15 or 16 years to get to 1,000 stores. It took us another 5 or 6 years to get to another 1,000. I think we'll do it in 3 years. And what the number that you are calculating, yes, we delivered, probably reached every household one time in a year. But an average consumer eats 1,000 meals in a year, and we are hardly present over there.
Okay, I'll switch it completely and then I'll talk about one number which in a sense has been the high watermark for Jubilant Foodworks, your return on capital. And your return on capital, which was well in 30s when you went public, has now come into mid-teens. I understand you were expanding, but shareholders would say that ultimately it's all about return on capital. Bhai, wo kahan hai? Wo वापस कब आएगी?
I think we're genuinely working on it, and we do care about it. To me, that's the single biggest metric, return on capital.
So you are in a high growth phase now, which I think you've in a sense clearly articulated. But with growth, there is also return ratios. When I started tracking Domino's or Jubilant Foodworks, the return ratios were enviable. They're the best in the industry, 30% plus. Now they've come down to sub 20. Will they come back or they will remain here?
I think definitely we'll see improvement in return on capital. I think that's a very important metric for me and my team. Now we are doing 3 things for it. Number 1, the biggest driver of return on capital is same-store growth rate, right? So now that is back on track. Second is there is a reduction in our store capex. So in the last couple of years, we have probably reduced our store capex to by about 10 to 15%, and yet improved our store experience. Third is that we were in a heavy investment cycle of technology, building capacities, right? We believe that capex intensity will marginally come down. So therefore, I genuinely believe the ROCE should climb up.
So every year, every quarter, will we see an improvement?
Hopefully, yes. But I think but the endeavor is to make the same store growth. To me, is the biggest driver of my return on capital.
But 12% same stores growth, what you reported for the quarter
Yes,
gone
like
by,
for like.
you feel that the trend will be strong. It may not be 12%, that could be an aberration, but the trend could be in and around India's GDP growth.
I think we have to do better than India's GDP growth rate, right? I mean, it's a
Nominal GDP.
Nominal GDP, okay. So I think that is the endeavor. But see, our model is we have the highest throughput per store, we have the fastest delivery, and our stores payback period is about 2.5 years. As long as that happens, so we are ready to open stores.
There's a time I distinctly remember there were drop in your margins, and the line which we used to describe what was the challenge for Jubilant Foodworks was that who moved my cheese? Milk prices went up, cheese prices they went up, and that was a struggle. That could come back again. So while there are plans in terms of getting AI, increasing the return ratios and customer satisfaction, you've not taken a price hike for 10 quarters.
Yes.
What does that mean? And are you struggling to take a price hike, or it's a conscious strategy?
It's absolutely very conscious.
Okay.
Price hike is the easiest thing to do. It's a policy decision at the end of the day. But by not taking price hikes in the last 9th quarter or 10th quarter running, what we've been able to do is gain massive market share. While everybody talks about mandi and demand slowdown, right? We are growing the fastest. So I think it is testimony of not only our execution, but some of the bold decisions we have taken on technology, and an execution on the ground, along with shying away from taking any price hike. So it's more value to consumers, and that's what Domino's stand for: great food, delivered very fast, and renowned value.
You're present in Turkey, and many experts say that Turkey is like India. The only problem is that there was high inflation there, which in a sense was having an impact on the customer spending. Is the worst behind that market, and if it is, then where is that market headed for you?
So firstly, let's look at DP Eurasia, that company acquired our operations in Turkey. So Turkey is about 780 Domino's.
Okay.
It's a largely franchisee model. 80% of the stores are owned by franchisees. So very high return on capital. As an economy, Turkey has grown between 4 to 5% in the last 4 years, real GDP. And in dollar terms, Domino's in Turkey has actually grown faster than the market in Turkey. So very sound business, highly PAT accretive to us, and very good return on capital. So from that perspective, it's a great business to be in. The biggest thing over there is also, or the other thing I would like to point out is our brand called Coffee. So I think we went past a mock-up of a coffee store.
It's coming in India?
In India, not very soon, but at least the brand is going to Cyprus. So we're going to expand it globally. It is the fastest growing coffee brand in Turkey. It is already number 7. We believe in next 3 years, actually it can become the top 3 brands in coffee.
Pizza बनाते हैं. So Samir, we are in a experiential kitchen of Jubilant Food for Domino's Pizza. And अब पिज्जा बनाते हैं. बना पाएंगे?
बना पाएंगे.
Okay. Just tell us the process. How does it start? ये क्या है? What is this?
So this is a dough ball
Okay.
that is made in our commissary. It's a live product.
Okay.
It has yeast in it, so it will expand.
Okay.
The first process is to take the dough ball,
Okay.
put it on this corn meal,
Okay.
stretch it,
Okay.
right? Bring it onto the make line,
Okay.
and you put the toppings, right? In this case, you
थोड़ी
have
कौन डालते हैं इसमें?
हाँ, थोड़ा सा आप corn डालिए,
थोड़ा कौन डालते हैं?
right? So you'll typically, when you are putting corn, you will spread it.
Okay.
You will take some olives
Okay.
and put it.
Okay.
And
And that
once
is cheese.
that is cheese.
That is your unique thing,
so
right?
that is typically you will.
जितना भी डालो कम है.
And then once you take it, the oven is right behind you.
Okay.
So it's very operationally designed
Okay.
to from hand stretching to topping to putting in the oven is actually.
Okay. चलो जी ये गया oven के अंदर pizza, right?
So it is actually less than 1 minute.
So in 7 minutes the pizza is ready.
In 8 minutes the pizza is ready on the shelf,
Okay.
ready to be
So
dispatched.
this is a ready pizza which we've got, and corn and everything is there. You know, this is ready to be dispatched.
This is ready to be dispatched,
Okay.
and 7 minutes of right time. So ideally we can deliver a pizza in 15 minutes.
So in 15 minutes the pizza is actually ready.
That's correct. Delivered in to the customer.
Delivered to the customer.
8 minutes of right from order taking to dispatch time, which we call as a bike start time, and 7 minutes of delivery. So the entire kitchen is designed operationally to save minutes and seconds.
Food delivery companies are saying that we will deliver in 10 minutes. They're trying to beat even 15 minutes now. How would you compete with them?
So firstly, we don't, as you can see, we use the freshest ingredients.
Okay.
We use a fresh dough ball, hand stretch it. It's never frozen, and we believe we have the density to serve the freshest pizza fastest. So take for example Gurgaon. When I joined about 2.5 years ago, we had about 35 stores. We now have about 50 stores.
In Gurgaon there are 50 stores.
50 stores, and we are adding about 20 more.
Only in Gurgaon?
Only in Gurgaon.
How many stores you have in Mumbai? We live in Mumbai, so I
Yes,
want to know
so
about
Mumbai is about 80 stores.
And you're planning to add here more?
Of course. Of course, in fact, there are white spaces in Mumbai that we are not able to find the store. So again, 20-minute delivery is one of the massive moats that we have in top 7 cities. So in about 12 to 18 months, you plan to cover all top 7 metros in India with 20-minute promise.
Wow. So we've discussed how the pizza is made. Now we go to the new brands. And the new brands are?
Popeyes, coffee, which is from Turkey, Hongs and Dunkin.
And there's a biryani also.
Ekdam biryani.
चलिए, अब बात करते हैं उनके बारे में. Samir, the Popeye brand, it's almost 5 years plus for Popeye for Jubilant Food.
3 years.
3 years now. But you've not seen a significant ramp up. Is it a conscious strategy that you'll focus on one market and then move to some other city?
No, that is not true. So firstly, I think in 3 years, we are now about 60 stores, present in 23 cities, and largely concentrated in South. We have opened in North, Delhi NCR, when we're actively looking to expand in Mumbai. So for me, at about 50 store mark, we have fine-tuned the model. Our capex have come down. Our gross margins have improved. We have launched the brand with its own app. Our order share on our own app is growing. In fact, we were one of the fastest growing QSRs on the aggregators, Popeyes last quarter. And we are continuously expanding and bringing the Domino's playbook onto Popeyes. Right now, I'm focused on making sure I get the right unit economics, then we can scale. Right? And if you see, we did the same thing with coffee in Turkey. We opened nearly 50 stores in last 6 to 9 months. So once the unit economic model is filled, we can actually accelerate.
And Dunkin' Donuts, is it like still a hobby project or this is a brand you want to take higher? Because it's nowhere close to 100 stores also.
Yeah, no, I think you're absolutely right. So I'm a big believer of focusing on few things. So for me, the growth vectors for Jubilant Foodworks are 3. Domino's, both in India and Turkey, Popeyes, and coffee.
Okay.
Rest everything, I'm making conscious choices on capital allocation, resource allocation, and once they prove the unit economics, we can actually scale very fast.
What is stopping you from incubating your own brands? I mean, India is like a land of choices. Yes. India, it's a place where you can create your own brands. If you create your own brand, you don't have to pay the license fee. Your supply chain is under control. And the way you understand India with all the data, what you have is remarkable. Why is that you've not been able to create a 100 crore, forget a 500 crore own brand?
Yeah, I think that's what we're attempting to do with Hong's Kitchen.
Okay.
Chinese is the most ordered cuisine or one of the largest cuisine, far bigger than actually pizza and burgers. But it's a very tough cuisine to make work. So we have about 30 odd stores of Hong's. We believe that's a large enough market. And again, our model is our mental model is to fix the unit economics and then rapidly expand. So, but at the moment, right now, my priority remains Domino's, Popeyes, and coffee.
What would you say are the penetration levels for your business, for the pizza business, for the chicken business, or the coffee business? What are the penetration level globally, and where are you in India?
So, Domino's in US is 20,000, and we are about 2,000 in India.
20,000 stores are there.
Yes,
of Domino's. Okay.
Domino's in US.
Okay.
Right. An average consumer in US eats about pizza about 20 times. In India, it is 3. That number will grow up. It was about.
What is the pizza market in India?
It's about $1 billion.
Okay, and it's growing at 15 to 20%.
Yes, it's growing about 15%.
And what would you say is your market share there?
We should be 2/3 of the market.
Okay, and you think you will be able to grow faster than the industry average even on such kind of a large base?
Yes, in fact, Nikunj, this is how I see it. The total Indian market is about 50 billion, 50.
Okay.
Right, and pizza is 1 billion. So there is no point grabbing share between that 1 billion. What makes sense is to grab share in the remaining $49 billion. That remaining $49 billion is vada pav and dosa and samosa and dal chawal, right? So that is where the job of the largest QSR or the category leader is to grow the category. And I'll give you one interesting anecdote. We just finished our annual our restaurant awards in Domino's. The top 3 stores were in Tinsukia,
Wow.
Belgavi, and Sholapur.
Wow.
Highest growth, highest revenue, highest EBITDA.
So it's not that pizza is an urban phenomenon. ये देसी लोग भी खाते हैं.
Yes, and that is the beauty of India, and that's one of the big trends that is shaping that tier 2, tier 3 towns in India are actually spending more and they want experiences. The Gen Z and the millennials over there want a similar experience to what you will see in Bandra.
So if you look at the camera and tell us which are the 3 food trends, why don't you do that?
Okay, number 1, delivery is growing fast. In fact, last quarter we grew nearly 29% on delivery. Number 2, late night snacking. Gen Zs are a lot about having 4 to 5 meals, but late night snacking is the fastest growing part. Number 3, it is about services, experience, and Gen Zs celebrating. It is showing in on big days. So Holi is becoming bigger, Diwali is becoming bigger, Christmas is becoming bigger, and that is where we believe the Gen Zs coming together, ordering more and more on their apps through technology, using a lot of social media to build experiences.
Fantastic. So these are the food trends. Now let's talk about where you stand in terms of growth. Ashwath Damodaran has a simple curve. He says that look at a company, it goes through a curve. Startup, youth, adult or mature, and then in decadence. Can I say that Jubilant Foodworks is still young and now it is really entering into a high growth phase, and the last 3 years versus next 3 years, the next 3 year growth would be exponential?
So we want to be the bold, right? The last...
Be the bold, yes, the t-shirt logo.
Yes, so about 28, 29, if you really see, we have shaped a lot of trends. We were the first one to get to technology. We were first to launch 30-minute delivery or free, right? And I remember the Paresh Rawal's line, "Tumhe time pe aane ki bimari hai kya?" So that bug is now a feature, right? We are obsessed about delivery. We're obsessed about timeliness of our delivery, the quality of our food, value that we give. We are truly a food tech giant that we are in the making. And so it is about accelerating pace from here.
And you're very clear that whatever you will acquire, it would be not like large acquisitions. There would be strategic fits here and there. You would be very conscious in terms of conserving your cash because you generate a lot of cash in this business.
That is correct. I think many of the businesses and startups that you see are actually either available for sale or partial stakes. We are very conscious of doubling down on Domino's, growing Popeyes, and growing coffee. We evaluate a lot. We still want to be the conduit to global brands into India, but at the moment our hands are full.
So right now, next 3 years, we should not hear any big breaking news from you in terms of a tie-up or a licensee or perhaps going into a different market.
So there are few. I think we are focused on India, but if there are one or two big global brands that come to India, we do want to be the first port of protocol.
Okay. Food delivery has changed the way how India is consuming, how India is ordering, and how India will consume. Has food delivery cannibalized you, or has food delivery expanded your market?
Food delivery actually has expanded our market multifold, right? We were about 35 odd restaurants in Gurgaon. We're 50 now, we're going to add 20 more.
20 more in Gurgaon.
And we are about 180, 185 in Mumbai and Thane, right? I believe we can actually double.
So you're saying Mumbaikars are eating less vada pav and more pizzas now?
Hopefully, I want them to eat more pizzas, actually, even more.
3 years out, if you're having the same conversation, what do you think we're likely to be discussing about Jubilant Foodworks?
Firstly, we will be celebrating our 3,000 store launch.
Okay.
We just did it.
So it doesn't matter what economic conditions are, you will go ahead with it. You will be bold in your rollout.
That's correct.
Okay.
Second is, Popeyes will be a very credible number 2 and profitable fried chicken chain. Number 3, Turkey will be generating cash and giving us dividend. And number 4, you will see even bolder, bigger investments in technology and supply chain.
So if I start summarizing our today's interaction by saying that Jubilant Foodworks started as a franchisee for Domino's, then it developed into managing other brands. Now it has morphed to be a technology company. So if you want to invest in Jubilant Foodworks, you're actually investing in a food tech company, not a company which happens to be the licensee of various brands. It's a food tech company and which is very unique. Perhaps no global company in a sense can be called as a food tech company which has licenses and as well as expanding.
That's correct. We are the best amalgamation or intersection of food and technology, but with a lot of purpose and heart.
And you're a digital company, that's how I would like to introduce you as.
That's correct.
Okay, digital company which in a sense is fulfilling a lot of aspirations. A pizza makes you happy even it's early morning or late in the night. And perhaps, it's really the add-on coffee which keeps you going. So you're really in the right categories which India is wanting to consume and India wants to consume.
We're just getting started.
Okay. What is your favorite non-pizza food?
So my favorite non-pizza food is actually chicken wings from Popeyes. We will just launch wings in 6 flavors. we are actually supply constrained. We are not able to procure chicken wings in India to actually serve the customers.
तो पिज्जा चिकन नहीं खा रहे तो क्या खाते हो?
Then it is the rajma chawal cooked by my mother.
अच्छा बिरयानी और आपने अपने चाइनीज फूड नहीं बोला. That is an honest answer which you actually gave us. But really nice to talk to you. I mean, it's been so nice to really talk about the journey, talk about the secret ingredients which are at play, what is baking in the boardroom, how are you looking at mixing all the ingredients together, and what essentially would be the spice which will keep shareholders happy. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nukunj.